I just finished off my first week of workouts in Ramadan, and I wanted to take a look at what does the science say about training while fasting. Normally, we think that training while fasting will, impact your gains, and that may be true if you're training within the fasting window. But what some research has recently found is that you can actually maximize your gains if you train after you break your fast. So it's not going to impact you as much if you're, fasting even for 18 hours during the day. And we're talking a dry fast, no water, no food, as long as you break your fast and then train. I wanted to take a look at this study from the following researchers, Rawa, Tricky, et al. And we can see here that this looked at time of day resistance training on fasting individuals in Ramadan. And they had 40 subjects randomly allocated into two groups of 20. One where they worked out while fasting, and then another group where they worked out after they broke their fast. So they were in a fed state for at least 90 minutes. And they saw some significant improvements in one rep maxes and increases in testosterone among the fed group. Let's take a look here at the blood samples that were taken in this experiment. And we can see here that the fed state, the fed individuals are a circle and the fast individuals are in squares and represented by those items. Now, if we take a look here, T0 is before Ramadan, T1 is halfway through Ramadan, and T2 is at the end of Ramadan, and T3 is 3 weeks after Ramadan. So we can see here the increase in testosterone starts halfway through Ramadan and it continues through the end of Ramadan. Look here at the one rep maxes that were tested throughout the study. We find something really interesting. We can see here that the squats and the deadlifts had significant improvements in the fed individuals, those who exercised after breaking their fast. You can see here for the squats, they had about 5 kgs of improvement, and for the deadlift, they had about 10 kgs in improvement in those lifts. And then, but if you look at the bench press, it's pretty much the same. And after 3 weeks after Ramadan, the group that was working out fasted actually had a larger or a higher increase in bench press. And so that's interesting because I guess the squat and the deadlift you could think of as like these uh, compound significant compound movements, and those had the most increases during Ramadan in a fed state right after they broke their fast. And so it just goes to show that having that proper those energy stores really impact you in those larger movements. So what does this all mean, right? I mean, we've heard so much about fasting and about, when to time your food intake and all these things. For me personally, I just wanted to give my insight into this. This last week, I worked out once while immediately after breaking my fast, about, you could say, 20 minutes after breaking my fast, and another time about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours after breaking my fast. And, I did notice that I had a little bit more energy when I worked out closer to, having just broken my fast, about 20 minutes after my fast. And I think that's because of that dopamine spike, that immediate kind of glucose spike that you get after opening your fast. All that to say that our bodies respond fairly quickly to food intake after being in a fasted state. Of course, our body's craving that sugar and that energy, and it would be interesting to see some more studies potentially on training 20, 30 minutes after breaking your fast versus 2 hours after your fast and see what kind of difference that makes in the quality of the workout, and does that lead to any improvements, whether it's testosterone levels or rep max improvements and so on. For me personally, I think, going forward, I'm going to try to work out about 20 minutes after breaking my fast to kind of maximize that energy that I just got. So having said all that, I hope you guys found this video useful, and hopefully you can implement some of these findings into your daily life. I'm on the road to the 1,000 pound club. Follow my journey. Subscribing would really help. And if you like this video, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. All right, see y'all next time.